Tinubu meets Adeboye, begins move to pacify Christians. Aviation Union faults federal government to join protests in solidarity with university workers. Kaduna State government to recruit 10,000 teachers. Portal opens on Thursday. On business, power supply to drop again. TCN alerts Nigerians. On international scene, Ghana confirms first case of deadly Marburg virus. And on sports, 9-player Super Falcons lose 4-5 on penalties to Atlas Lionesses. Hello and welcome to Svtv Newsroom. I am Umukufu Muhammad, now the news in full. Tinubu meets Adeboye, begins moves to pacify Christians. For more on the reports, Rahamadu Sarah.
Presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC Bola Tinubu has met with the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, following the controversy trailing the Muslim presidential preference of the ruling party. Newsmen reported that Tinubu had set up a team of eminent persons with whom he was scheduled to meet the Christian leaders within the party and faith-based organizations like the Christian Association of Nigeria, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, and the Catholic, to appeal to them and secure their buy-in. A source in the Tinubu campaign team who pleaded anonymity informed that the plan, which was going to be a holistic approach to the crisis, was to make the Christian community see reasons behind the Muslim ticket, adding that Tinubu decided to lead a team to appeal to the Christian community. It was gathered that the meeting with Pastor Adeboye was actually held on Sunday at the Redemption Camp. That's the report. Rahama Ibrahim Dosara, Svtv News.
The National Association of Aircraft Pilots and Engineers have criticized the federal government over its handling of the crisis in the nation's educational sector. In a statement on Monday by its Deputy General Secretary Umar Ofonime, NAAP expressed worry over the impasse between the government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities, which had grounded academic activities in public universities across the country. ASU had commenced a nationwide strike on February 14 over the adoption of the Integrated Personnel Payroll Information System of the government as the payment system in the university sector. Members had also decried the poor funding of universities, non-payment of salaries and allowances of some of their colleagues, as well as the inability of the government to pay earned academic allowances to lecturers, among other issues. Since the industrial action began, several negotiations between the union and the government have ended in deadlock. NAAP, in its reaction, believes the government's refusal to honor the agreements signed with ASU for over a decade is disturbing, considering the negative impact the prolonged strike will create on students' lives. As a result, it declared its support for the leadership of Nigeria Labour Congress to commence a nationwide protest on Tuesday and Wednesday next week in solidarity with the trade unions in the public universities and others. NAAP therefore directed its branch chairmen and secretaries in all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory to encourage members to participate in the solidarity demonstration. Governor Nasir El-Rufai has approved the work plan of the Kaduna State Universal Basic Education Board, the recruitment of 10,000 teachers through an online process. A statement issued by the executive chairman of KATSUBEB, Malam Tijani Abdullahi, stated the board had commissioned Kaduna State University to design and upload a recruitment portal, which will go live on Thursday, July 21st, 2022. For more on the report, Rafia Mainasara.
The executive chairman further said suitable qualified candidates with either a national certificate of education from an accredited institution, a bachelor's degree in education, BSc and BTech in any discipline from a reputable university are eligible to apply. According to him, the portal will be open for 2 weeks from first day it goes live on July 21st, 2022 to August 5th, 2022 when it will be closed. He said there will be a school-by-school requirement on the portal and applicants are expected to apply to schools closer to their residence, adding that the applicants will be screened and successful ones will be invited to sit for a computer-based examination at 3 centers, Kaduna, Zaria, and Kafanchan towns. Malan Tijani clarified that only those that score 75% in the examination, which will be standard that has been set by Kaduna State government, will be invited for oral interview. Rafi Amina Sara reporting for Svtv News.
A former Attorney General of Oyo State, Bayo Lawal, has become the Deputy Governor of the state. The Chief Judge of the State, Justice Mumtar Abimbola, administered the oath of office on him hours after his nomination for the post, which was approved by the State House of Assembly. Lawmakers in the Oyo Assembly okayed him for the role shortly after impeaching Raul Olania from the post on allegation of misconduct and abuse of office. Until his appointment as Deputy Governor, Lawal was the chairman of the Oyo State Housing Corporation. Oyo State Assembly approves Bayo Lawal as Deputy Governor after impeaching Raul Olania. Governor Seyi Makinde, who was present for the administration of oath, called on his new deputy to use his position to deliver good governance to the people of the state. Governor Makinde expects Lawal to continue to supervise the Housing Corporation in his new role. A former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Diran Odeyemi, says the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, did not help the opposition party to win the July 16, 2022 Osun governorship election. Our correspondent Zainab Abdulaziz has more on the report.
According to Odeyemi, the PDP had no alliance with any political party or a faction of the All Progressive Congress as speculated in the public space. He said maybe the reason why they thought Aregbesola helped them was because some of his commissioners decamped to the party. Just like they sold liability to them and bought assets from APC, so it was on both camps. He said PDP won the election on free and fair ground, describing the victory as revenge by the people of Oyo State against what APC did to PDP in 2018. Zainab Abdulaziz, you're reporting for Standard Voice Television.
As part of their nationwide consultation with stakeholders in the nation's political space, Labour Party presidential and vice presidential candidates in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed, on Sunday stormed Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, to confer with former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Chief Obasanjo received the Labour Party's flag bearers at his Abeokuta residence with the senior pastor of Trinity House, Itua Igodalo. Labour Party insiders hinted that the Abeokuta visit was to enable Peter Obi formally present Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed to the former Nigerian leader as his running mate. The 46-year-old former lawmaker served as a member of the House of Representatives from 2003 to 2007, representing Kaduna State. And now on business. Power supply will drop by 50 megawatts on Wednesday. A transmission company of Nigeria, in a statement on Monday, said the drop will be as a result of planned annual preventive maintenance on the line bay at Lekki Transmission Substation in Lagos. During the maintenance period, about 50 megawatts will be interrupted, affecting power supply to Lekki Phase 1, Oniru, Elegushi, Waterfront, Igbo Efon, and 21st Century Estate in Lagos State. The statement said TCN regrets all inconvenience this might cause electricity consumers in the affected areas. The announcement came on the heels of a promise by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to deliver at least 5,000 megawatts of electricity to Nigerians starting from July 1st. The NERC had responded to a widespread public clamor following consistent system collapsing of the power grid over 4 incidents recorded so far this year. According to the Commission, all hands are on deck to ensure boost in power generation and supply to electricity consumers, adding that all stakeholders, including gas firms, had signed binding contracts to the effect. Now an international scene. The Marburg virus was first detected in the city of Marburg in Germany in 1967. Ghana has confirmed its first 2 cases of the deadly Marburg virus, a highly infectious disease in the same family as the virus that causes Ebola. It says both patients died recently in hospital in the southern Ashanti region. Their samples came back positive earlier this month and have now been verified by a laboratory in Senegal. Health officials in the West African nation say 98 people are now under quarantine as suspected contact cases. These include relatives, medics, and mortuary workers who came into contact with the two patients. This is the second time that Marburg has been identified in West Africa. The World Health Organization, which is supporting Ghana's health authorities, has praised the country's swift response. Dr. Patrick Kuma Agboagie, the head of Ghana's health service, told newsmen that there's a whole multidisciplinary team in the field trying to ensure that they are able to unearth the real source of the virus. He said contact tracing and strict infection control measures have been introduced to prevent more fatalities. Teams are also going into communities to make them aware of the symptoms and to ensure they alert health authorities if any suspected cases emerge. And now in sports. Hosts Morocco stunned 9 women Nigeria 5-4 on penalties to book their place in the final of the Total Energies Women Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON for the first time in their history at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium on Monday. Despite a brave display, the Super Falcons failed to reach the final for the only third time in the competition's history. It was quite a sad day for the 9-time champions as Atlas Lionesses of Morocco dug deep to qualify for the final, with Nigeria having 2 players sent off in Rabat on Monday night. With the score stalemated at 1-1 after 120 minutes, the North Africa were better from the spot as they edged past the reigning African champions and as later to face South Africa's Bayana in the final encounter on Friday. In the keenly contested encounter played at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat, the Atlas Lionesses began the game on a rampaging note, dominating ball possession as the Super Falcons were made to defend stoutly. And that's all we have a news update for today, but before we go, a recap of the major headlines. Tinubu meets Adeboye, begins move to pacify Christians. Aviation Union faults federal government to join protests in solidarity with university workers. Kaduna State government to recruit 10,000 teachers. Portal opens on Thursday. On business, power supply to drop again. CCN alerts Nigerians. On international scene, Ghana confirms first case of deadly Marburg virus. And on sports, 9-player Super Falcons lose 4-5 on penalties to Atlas Lionesses. Thank you, and that's the news. On behalf of the editorial crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, I am once again Kulthum Muhammad saying thanks for watching. Do have a nice day. Keep watching Standard Voice Television.